Hey there, my name's Cassandra if you're new here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my morning basket for my 6 and my 4-year-old, almost 5 next month. Now this is the month of December. We are kind of wrapping up some things and also starting some new things. There's not many Christmassy things because we usually start our morning off with, I lay out something for them the night before, whether it's a puzzle, a game, a coloring sheet, a craft, whatever. But because it's December, they have advent calendars, and in their advent calendars, their grandma makes them and they're wonderful. They usually have some kind of activity or something to play with or something to do. So that's what I lay out. I don't lay out a separate thing. And also we do one Christmas activity a day as well. So that's not going to be included in my morning basket, but that is usually something we do in the morning that I consider to be school. So let's go ahead and get started into the morning basket here. So this is one of the things, it's called What's Going On Here conversation cards. We've already finished this. We just finished this the other day, but I did want to still include it because we did do it for part of December. And I highly recommend it. I will try to link some things down below if I can. We did get a lot of these game type things from Timberdoodle when we ordered our curriculum package. I customized it to include a lot of the art and a lot of the games because those were the things I wanted most, because Timberdoodle does have some unique games, but if I can find them on Amazon, I'll link them down below. So what this is it just has a picture and it has questions on the back that you can prompt your child to ask. So it has a picture like this, for example, and some questions about the picture. So for this picture, it would be, what's going on here? What did the kitten do? Why are the kitten and the fox both wet? After a hug, what will the cat say to the kitten? And so it starts a conversation about solving social problems, basically, and also highlights dealing with emotions, stuff like that. So I do think this was very valuable. We enjoyed that a lot. My kids really enjoyed that. The next thing we're doing is I do one of two things for this. So there's always some kind of, we're Christian homeschoolers. There's always some kind of scripture study. And right now we're working on what's called the Articles of Faith. In our church, is just the basics of what we believe. So I do these little cards that have pictures. My kids can't read yet. They can read a little tiny bit. We're in like all about reading level 1. So they can read a little bit, but I do these pictures so they can try to remember the words, and we're memorizing all the Articles of Faith. So right now we're working on number 4 and number 3. But if we don't do this, I like to switch it back and forth. We do have this game called We Believe Articles of Faith. And it is just cue card style, basically. It breaks the Articles of Faith up into different cue cards with pictures. And so I'll shuffle them up and have them put them in order. Or, yeah, we do a bunch of different games with these to keep it sort of interesting while we memorize it. Okay, so the next thing we do, which is kind of a new thing for us, well, it's not true. If you watch my old morning basket videos, I used to do this a lot, which is do songs with them. And then I kind of stopped for a while, and I realized I needed to bring it back because there's a lot of important hymns that I want them to learn, but also things like our national anthem. We don't do it every day. We're not in school, so it was something I realized I didn't even know yet. So again, I did some of these pictures. And again, this is something we're just finishing up. I just ate that card. This is something we are finishing up. So we're done the national anthem for now. They don't have the tune quite yet, but I'm gonna just kind of shelf it for now to start a Christmas hymn. Another thing we're doing is this is mostly just with my daughter, but whenever I'm doing something with one, usually the other kind of sits around, so kind of sucks it in still, you know? But it's this Sometimes I'm Anxious workbook. And that it teaches a lot of the strategies that you would learn if you were in therapy. I can't remember the type of therapy. It's like C something. I can't remember exactly what the type is, but it gives you a lot of good strategies for if your child does struggle with anxiety like mine does. It's pretty, we had a big move 2 years ago from Ontario to Yellowknife, and I'm wondering if that's maybe what's going on. It's starting to kind of show in anxiety in my daughter. But I'm not really sure. We're trying some things. If you guys have any tips for anxiety in, small children, I would love you to leave them down below. Because to me, the next step is probably going to be seeing a psychologist, because it seems quite extreme. But anyway, maybe some tips below if you have any. So we're also doing Harry Potter. This is number 3. We're nearly done there. I hope to finish this by Christmas time. And a lot of you may be thinking that's really not age appropriate, and you're probably right. It's really not. It's an irresponsible decision. However, my husband and I love Harry Potter so much, we just could not wait to get started with them. We did stop for a while. As I mentioned, my daughter has anxiety, and so we stopped everything that could be remotely scary for quite a while, thinking that might help. It did not. So, and then I talked to my daughter about it, and she said, I don't actually find it scary. So we're still going and trekking on with it, and she really, really loves it. She's asking from Santa this Christmas for Harry Potter castles, and we're starting, in case you guys don't know, we're starting Sunlight in January, I hope to, January or February. So I don't know if we'll be starting another read aloud like this one. We might just do the ones that are in Sunlight. So the last thing is some sort of game. I'm a big fan of these smart games. So we've got this Smart Farmer for my daughter. It's for kind of a little bit older. 4 to adult, it says. It's a little bit harder than this other one we have, which is the 3 Little Piggies. This one does well for my son. My daughter went through the entire book of this one, and how it works is it's an independent game. It just works like this, where it gives the board is this shape, and then it has 2 pigs, and you either have to cover them up with the appropriate houses, placing them all on. It's sort of like a puzzle game. Or sometimes you have to leave the pigs out, like this one. Then there comes a wolf at some points as well, that you have to leave out but leave the pigs in. So it's kind of cute. And it's the same sort of thing with the other one, except you're using fences. So there's okay, this is a better picture back here. It has the game board like this, and then you have to keep the same animal type in the same corral. So the horses can't be mixed with the sheep, but the horses have to be together. And at some points later on, it's different levels. It's like you know, easy to expert kind of thing. And sometimes you have to have the water trough in them as well, and it has different shapes for the fence pieces. So it's basically a puzzle game that gets them stimulated in the morning. And then this has been another one of our favorites. It's called Lion in My Way. It's another kind of imaginative, silly kind of game. So you have some kind of problems that you have. So say there is a lion in your way, which is what it's called. There could be a swamp in your way. There could be a dark tunnel, a river, etc. And you have these cards, these little cards in your hand. And you can use these to solve the problem that you're facing. So let's say our problem is that we need to get through the thunderstorm. And I have a drum, I don't know, a ball and chain, some stilts, a feather duster, and one of these flying hats, okay? So as long as I can explain using my imagination why one of these would work to get through the thunderstorm, then I can get through this thunderstorm with it. So you can either do each person does one in their hand to get through the thunderstorm, or you can work together as a team and each person tackles a different obstacle. So it can be super silly. So I could say, I'm going to use this flying hat, even though you would clearly get electrocuted. I guess this maybe isn't the best one. I'm going to, I don't know. These are all really tricky. I'm going to use these stilts, and I'm going to, because they will help me to take bigger steps so I can get through the thunderstorm faster, not getting as wet. And I can also get through the puddles quickly because I'm on stilts or something like that. Okay. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because then you're closer to the lightning, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. And so you have to, the kids are much better at this than I am, as you can tell. You lose your imagination, I feel like, as you get older. But anyway, so it's a good little imagination game. So that's everything I have for our morning basket. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.